Okay, you see, my microphone's on. Not going to touch it until I turn it on the next time. Oh, thank you.
Call this meeting of the Fremont County Board of Commissioners to order. If you'll please rise and join us for an invocation followed by the pledge.
We need to do roll call.
Commissioner Bell is going to introduce the pastor. We'll do roll call later.
Okay. Good morning. This morning I would like to welcome someone new to our community. David Staff has been appointed the interim pastor at the Evangelical Free Church. So David has recently arrived with his wife Pamela, and I just wanted to formally welcome you and thank you for being here this morning for the invocation.
Please turn on your.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. Let's pray together. Father in heaven, King David reminds us that the earth and everything in it, the world and its inhabitants, belong to the Lord. You laid the foundation on the seas and established it on the rivers. Who may ascend into the mountain of the Lord? Who may stand in his holy place? The one who has clean hands and a pure heart, and has not set his mind on what is false, who has not sworn deceitfully. Such will receive a blessing from the Lord and righteousness from the God of his salvation. Father, we want to thank you for the resources which you have created and given to us to enjoy and to live the life that you give us. We stand before you grateful for all that you provide. And we are grateful for those who are willing to administrate and give leadership to the resources that you have given us. We ask, Lord, that you would give these who lead and administrate your wisdom, that we all would be good stewards of the things that you place in our hands that we are allowed to use. We might lead and administrate in such a way that blesses people and does what is good and gives you honor and glory in such things. We ask for your favor to be on this meeting. May you be pleased with what we do, and may people be blessed by what we decide. And it is in your name, precious Lord, we pray. Amen.
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 I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, David.
Now let's do roll call.
Now we'll do roll call, please.
Commissioner McFall.
Present.
Commissioner Bell.
Present.
Commissioner Grantham.
Here.
County Attorney Jackson.
Present.
Assistant Manager Childs.
Present.
And Planning and Zoning Director Micah Simpleman.
Present. So, first of all, Micah, welcome, our new planning director. It's your first time up here, and appreciate what you're doing up there. We've got a lot to learn, but welcome aboard.
Thank you very much.
Oh, no. Okay. All right. Electronic shut off. What do we do? All right. We'll move on to approval of the agenda. I know of no changes.
Go ahead. Got it?
Mr. Chair, knowing of no changes that are necessary to this agenda, I move for the approval.
Second.
Has been moved and seconded for approval of the agenda. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Grantham. Aye. Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Motion carries.
On to the consent agenda, where at this time we are not scheduling any future public hearings.
Which is a little unusual. Seems like
Yeah.
we've been having a lot of those. So, Mr. Chair, with that note, I move to approve today's consent agenda.
Second.
Has been moved and seconded to approve today's consent agenda. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham. Aye. Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Motion carries.
We'll jump right into administrative and informational. We'll start with staff Tammy, is there anything that you would like to say this morning? County Manager Sonny Bryant is out on a much-needed vacation, so appreciate you sitting in for her.
I have nothing to share this morning.
All right, thank you. We'll go on to the clerk's monthly report then. Justin Grantham.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Total motor vehicle fees, sales taxes, and recording fees collected for September of this year is $1,469,907.26. Of that, Fremont County's portion for disbursement is $807,076.58, which is 55% of the total fees and is $27,601.67 more than last year in September. Year to date, our office is up $1,064,732.42.
So the good news continues.
Wow,
Good news
We like
continues.
those reports.
wow. Thank you. Any questions for Clerk Grantham? Entertain a motion.
No questions, but Mr. Chair, I move to accept the county clerk's monthly report for the month of September 2021.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the clerk's September monthly report. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And now I'll turn to the others up here if there's anything they would like to converse about today. Justin?
Thank you,
Clerk
Mr.
Grantham.
Chair. I sound like a broken board, but ballots are out. They are on their way. We, with all the snafu with the planes and whatnot, the two staff that actually escort the ballots from my vendor to the distribution center actually had to drive out to Phoenix over the weekend and fly back. They didn't tell me that till this morning. I'm like, that's a headache for them. But yes, they escorted all the ballots. We verified that the ballots, the amount of ballots we sent out versus the amount of ballots were put in the distribution were exactly the same. So they are on their way. They should be arriving this week. Also, for those who signed up for Ballot Tracks last year or this year, Ballot Tracks is a notification system that instead of you going to search if your ballot has been accepted or sent to you or received by my office, it will tell you when all that stuff happens. So if you want to sign up for that, it's Ballot Tracks, and that's tracks with an X, .net. You put in your information, sign up for text messages or emails, and it'll notify you, like it did yesterday morning for me at 8 o'clock, my ballot's in the mail. And it'll notify anybody when you return your ballot to our office that we've scanned it into our office. And it'll also tell you if your signature has been accepted. So if you want more information about that, go to our website. But other than that, start researching all the questions and candidates on the ballot, and good luck to all candidates that are involved.
Thank you. Anyone else? Commissioner Bell?
Maybe. I always have something to say. So I just wanted to let folks know, if you haven't seen the news in the newspaper or heard about it on the radio yet, that Fremont County has created a new public input page on our website for the public to give us their ideas and some different suggestions on how to spend the American Rescue Plan Act funding that Fremont County has received. So like all of the cities and communities here in our county, Fremont County did receive a portion of that massive package. The three of us still are uncertain as to how wise the entire package is. We're afraid of what this might do to our children, our grandchildren, those in the future. But the reality is the money has been sent. It is here. And we have the next few years to look at different projects and to figure out how we're going to get that money spent. Fremont County's portion of the disbursement was $9.3 million approximately, and so that's a lot of money to invest in our community. People are talking and throwing words around like you know, it's life-changing. This is once in a generation. This is something that we really can leave our mark on the future here in Fremont County. We do have very specific things we can and cannot spend this money on. So please understand that, but there is more information on our website. We would love to hear from you and gather input as to how you think we can best do that. So I would just urge all of you to go to fremontco.com. There's a link on that front page to take you to the public input for the ARPA funds. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Commissioner Grantham?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. A couple things. So each of the meetings as we've come together here for our board meetings, given some updates as far as what we knew on the redistricting and reapportionment commissions. What we have, the Redistricting Commission for the congressional maps sent their final maps to the Supreme Court, I think it was a couple weeks ago. And that is going before the Supreme Court today, as a matter of fact. So all of those that are objecting to the maps for whatever reason get their chance in front of the Supreme Court to see if it meets constitutional muster. Last night, the Reapportionment Commission for the state legislative seats approved a House map that will send that map to the Supreme Court, and today they're hoping to come to a consensus of the 8 votes necessary for the state Senate map. Then that will go to the Supreme Court, and hopefully they'll hear that in a couple weeks from this week to get those approved so that folks like the clerk and his crew can get everything set for the elections next year. And that's all I have on that. One other thing, Mr. Chair, just maybe indulge me for a couple
Sure.
minutes here. I had the opportunity several times while I was up in the legislature to make note of this event. And in fact, the very last day, the 120th day of my 8th session, the last day I served as senator and president in the Colorado State Senate, I had the privilege of passing a resolution that designated a portion of the highway between Swink and La Junta as the Staff Sergeant Robert Bryan Cowdery Memorial Highway. The reason I bring this up today is because tomorrow marks the 10th anniversary of Bryan Cowdery's death. Now, there's probably many of us in here or that might be listening that have some direct connections to someone that they know or lost over in Iraq or Afghanistan. I make note of this because tomorrow marks the 10th anniversary of when he died. He served his country through one tour in Iraq, and he was in the middle of his 3rd tour in Afghanistan, serving in the All-American Dust-Off Medevac Company. He was one of those that got in the chopper and headed towards the fight in order to bring back soldiers who had fallen in the field. There are many that have died in service to their country and in fighting for our freedom, for our liberties. This one hit me just a little bit different back then because Bryan was someone who was a good friend of mine. We went to elementary school, we went to junior high, went to high school, we even went to college together. And I kind of knew him. And I just wanted to make everyone aware of that we have not forgotten them. As we have seen events unfold over the last few weeks in Afghanistan, disheartening as they were, it does not diminish the role that people like Bryan and his fellow soldiers, the role that they played in fighting for us. So, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. A couple of quick reminders. One, unincorporated parts of Fremont County outside of a fire district are in fire stage 1 restrictions, as well as U.S. Forest Service. So basically, no open burning out there. It's especially today, but we're under red flag warning, I think, again today. It's supposed to be very windy, but it is very, very, very dry. So be very careful out there. A quick update on Pathfinder Park. The event center out there is coming along nicely. They're working on the inside, getting it going real good. We're still a little behind because of the supply chain being so messed up, but it looks like at this point we'll have it the end of November. So hopefully everything will keep going well with it, and it's coming along. It's so exciting, so it's pretty cool. Anyone else up here have anything? Nope, okay. Move on to the part where if there's any citizens in the crowd that would like to speak to us of anything that's not on the agenda, now would be the time. Okay, seeing none, we will move on. We have no old business. We'll jump right into new business. And the first order of business is a service recognition proclamation for Patty Toller Bosco. We'll have Patty come up front. We've got to, sadly, but congratulatory, do this. So Patty's going to retire. So I'll have Clerk Grantham is going to read the proclamation, and then we'll go from there. Yeah.
Whereas the Board of County Commissioners of Fremont County, Colorado regretfully accepts the retirement of Patty Toller Bosco from the Recording Division of the Clerk and Recorder's Office. And whereas Patty has been a loyal and dedicated employee of Fremont County from April 24th of 1998 until October 21st, 2021, earning the respect of her peers and customers throughout her career. And Patty has worked in the Motor Vehicle Division for almost 18 years, in the Recording Division for almost 5 years, and in countless elections for almost 23 years. And Patty has been instrumental in the continuance of digitizing permanent records in the Clerk and Recorder's Office. And Patty has been a continued source of experience in the Recording Division, always helping employees, assisting customers, receiving and indexing documents, certifying documents, issuing marriage licenses, which were a lot this year and last year, and much more. And whereas Patty Toller Bosco has been an instrumental individual in maintaining the stability in the Recording Division throughout her time in the clerk's office, always showing loyalty to her coworkers and dedication to her work.
And now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Board of County Commissioners of Fremont County, Colorado, hereby publicly recognize and express its appreciation and gratitude, and that of the citizens of Fremont County to Patty Toller Bosco for her more than 22 years of devoted service to Fremont County. And Mr. Chair, with that, I move to approve this service recognition proclamation for Patty Toller Bosco.
Second.
Has been moved and seconded to approve this service recognition proclamation for Patty Toller Bosco for her years of service to Fremont County and the people of Fremont County. And for the friends in the audience and the millions watching around the world, is there any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham, after he turns his mic on.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Patty, congratulations. Justin's going to present you with the proclamation. Patty, I don't know if there's something you want to say, but you're more than welcome to if you do. If you do, just hit that button and turn that mic on, and it's all yours. The middle button? Yep. There you go.
Okay. I just want to say thank you for my time here. I've enjoyed my years here, and I will miss everyone, but you've not seen the last of me. And thank you for everything. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Patty.
Okay, move on to item number 2, which is approval of Emergency Operations Plan 2021, and it's an update. And we have our Emergency Manager, Michael Kroll, here this morning. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning.
Good morning. And just a little follow-up to what Commissioner McFall was saying. Florence Fire Protection District is also in a Stage 1. Their board decided to go in Tuesday of last week into Stage 1 restriction as well. So that's the only fire district in Fremont County that's currently under 1 right now anyway. So, and yes, today is a red flag warning day. So yeah, I'm here this morning for the Emergency Operations Plan update. DHSEM in Colorado is an accredited emergency management program, and they have set some higher standards for all of the local jurisdictions. So what they want to do is get all of the local jurisdictions' emergency operations plans up to at least the 90% on their CPG 101 system that they use to critique all of our plans and make sure they're up to standards. So this year we had to get it up to 90% by the end of the year, and I started out in the upper 70s to get mine up to 94.12 when I was done. So with that being said, it has been approved by the state, and now all I need is your approval and signature on it to then pass it forward to them so that they can get it into their records.
Okay, thank you. So this emergency operations plan, this is for the entire county. It's not just, it's for the municipalities, anybody that lives in Fremont County, where these plans will be in motion if something ever happens that we need a emergency-wise, correct?
We like to call it the emergency management Bible for the county, because any emergency operations that go on, this is what we refer back to, and then our other plans for specific incidents are the annexes to this emergency operations plan.
And this is everything from healthcare to infrastructure to disasters to anything imaginable, okay? A lot of work goes into these. I appreciate the update. You have to keep those updated, I believe, every 5 years as well. So it's a continually working operating plan. Commissioners, any questions or concerns for Michael, or?
I have a motion if you'd like one.
Absolutely.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the Emergency Operation Plan 2021 update.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve the Emergency Operations Plan 2021 update. Is there any further discussion? No, just thank you for getting us up to 94% and continue working on it. Appreciate that. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And the third item is the approval of the alert and warning plan. And again, we have Emergency Manager Michael Crow.
So the alert and warning plan is something that we didn't have, and it fed into the emergency operations plan of how we're going to alert citizens, how we say, okay, this is what constitutes a warning, an evacuation, mandatory evacuation, an alert status. So the county hadn't had one of those officially, and this plan, it did take some time because there are a lot of moving pieces to it for all different kinds of disasters that we might have. So I wrote this plan and had it finished first so it could work into the emergency operations plan, and that did help with the 94.12% in the EOP update. So that is another reason I'm here today, just to get your signature and approval for that so that we can add that in to my whole case of plans that I have and as an annex to the EOP.
And this, Michael, I believe you had to have coordination and cooperation with all of the special district, the fire districts and everybody, because they're all involved so that everybody's on the same page.
That's correct. And even with DHSEM,
Right.
they did their CPG 101 tool on it to make sure that it met their critical criteria, and they gave me the approval for that. And I can't remember, it was earlier this year, and I'm somewhere in the upper 90s for that approval for the critical pieces as well.
Okay, commissioners?
Yeah, quick question for you. With this alert and warning plan, I thought it might be a good time to let citizens know about the Everbridge system and how they can connect to that. So could you speak about that for a moment?
So we used to use TFCC for our alert and warning system. That system has went away, and we're now using Everbridge. If you had an account with the old system, you do have to sign up with the new system again, and you can go to www.freecom911.com and you can register your account. The old account will not transfer over, so you can use the same password and username, but you do have to sign up. I think there are 13 different routes that you can get notified and specify what you want. You can make sure your address is in the correct location on the map. After you put all your information in, it'll make sure that it's in the correct area. So if we draw that polygon or radius or whatever to the emergency, make sure that you're in the right spot, because if you have a 2-mile long driveway and we only get where your phone ped box is, it might not go to your house. So it gives the citizens a little bit more of a chance to make sure that their information is in there, their location is correct, so when we have to do or need to do an evacuation, we know that their house is actually in this point instead of where the phone ped box is. It's an easy system to use, And a lot of folks have been really happy to have it, and it's very feature-packed and robust. It's something that's needed to be done for quite a while.
And this is the system I think a lot of people might know much better as a reverse 911 warning. So if there is an emergency that residents need to talk about, you actually will receive that telephone call on your phone at home, your cell phone, wherever you choose to sign up to.
That's correct. And it might be an automated voice, or it might be me, myself, recording my voice, giving more information. So you might get the robo, or you might get a real person. It just depends on what the situation is and what needs to be conveyed.
Okay, thanks for that, Michael. I just think that's an incredibly important part of any kind of an alert and warning plan for our citizens here in Fremont County. So if there's nothing else, Mr. Chair, I have a motion.
Okay.
All right, I move to approve the alert and warning plan as presented this morning by Michael Kroll.
Second.
Has been moved and seconded for the approval of the alert and warning plan. Is there any further discussion? I'd just like to say these are available on our website, fremontco.com, too, if anybody's interested in looking those up and having a good read, right?
And as well as my emergency management page on the Fremont CO, then go to the emergency management tab, and there's a whole bunch more there as well, and as well as emergency preparedness information as well.
Right, so there's a lot of great information there if you want to prepare for any kind of disaster emergency. Okay, roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you, Michael.
Thanks, Michael. This does represent a lot of hard work from you.
All right, item number 4 is a resolution adopting the Fremont County Records Retention Policy and Schedules. I don't know where that one is.
It's there.
Right there. Okay, I'll ask Tammy just a little bit on this.
So the records retention policy and schedules, it's been a long time coming project between me and Ms. Jackson, compiling the information, putting it into a usable format, and the many updates that have occurred over the last couple of years while we've been trying to get it accomplished. But it is now done and ready for your guys' adoption.
Okay, Ms. Jackson, is there anything you wanted to add on that? Okay, thank you. So this would be resolution number 38, Commissioners, and if you've got any questions, or I'd entertain a motion.
I will make a motion if you'd like one.
Okay.
May I just
got
clarify
one
something
comment.
first, please?
Okay.
Thank you. I just would like to clarify what this really is about is how long the county will be keeping records and things like emails for anyone who may be coming at any point in the future to request a copy through the Colorado Open Records Act. So we do have certain state standards that we must meet, but we've never before here in Fremont County had an actual organized policy for this is how long we will keep emails. Beyond that, they will be deleted and they will not be available. So it's something, as Tammy said, has been a very long time in coming. So I just wanted to thank Tammy and Brenda both for all your work on this.
Mr. Chair, I move that we adopt resolution number 38, adopting the Fremont County Records Retention Policy and Schedules.
I'm sorry, what's this number?
38.
38. I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt resolution number 38, adopting the Fremont County Records and Retention Policy and Schedules. Is there any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Grantham. Aye. Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Motion carries.
We do have a public hearing scheduled for 10 o'clock, and we've got about a minute and a half, so we'll take a short recess. It's 10 o'clock, so we have a public hearing scheduled, and it is a request for a zone change, and a zone change 21-002 for Pikes Peak Motors, requesting approval of a rezone of 13.94 acres from agriculture forestry to industrial to allow the enlargement of the existing automobile graveyard / salvage yard, and the incorporation of used car sales area in front of the parking lot. The application also includes a request to modify the existing commercial development plan and to remove the 6.56 acres from the commercial development plan that would remain vacant. This property is located at 62651 Highway 50. And we have Matt Koch here this morning, his representation. Good morning.
Morning, Matt.
I think you've just about covered it in your
That was about all of it, right?
So, yeah, they're expanding their storage area. They will put up the concrete fencing similar to what's out there now and expand to the north. Basically, it's 13.5 acres. We're going to be separating off the 6.5 over to the other side, so we're basically just expanding about 7 acres with that zone change. There are no additional services being added or anything. It's just an expansion of the storage area. As per request by the county engineer, we will be moving the swale for the stormwater management around the fence so it does collect it as it has been and directs it towards the detention pond out front. There was one contingency, and that was noting the landscaping that will remain natural, noting that on the site plan, as well as a note as maintenance will be taken care of by the owner. So other than that.
So I think you might have misspoke once, Matt. No other services requested except for the used car sales out front.
Right, exactly, sorry, yes.
Right?
Yep.
Okay, just to clarify.
That's right.
Okay, anybody have any questions for Matt at this time? I've got one question, Matt. Looking through this, so they own the property to the north of this property also, correct?
Correct.
This 13.94, you said 13.94 acres, it is still on the same piece of property? It doesn't get into the other property?
Correct.
Correct.
And so they own a vast amount of property out here to the north, to the west, and to the east. And so this is just part of what they own out there.
But is it on the same parcel?
No, it actually, the legal description will be created through a deed to cover that portion of it. Because when we did the first one, we had to create a deed for the existing parcel. And so we'll create a deed for that, the new parcel, to incorporate all of that as part of the development area.
So with that, I'm trying to understand all this. So there would have to be a lot line adjustment then too, because that other property is different, and you're going to incorporate this part into that other property?
We are, but since it's over 35 acres, we don't have to do a lot line adjustment. We can do everything by deed, by state statute.
Any further questions at this time?
I would just ask our county attorney very quickly if we would need a contingency for this to have those lot changes by deed?
Yeah, then expansion goes over into the northern lot, and so that needs to be combined into one parcel
Right.
for the business parcel.
And so, yeah, we'll be creating that one deed that covers all that.
That covers that, and then leaves the rest, I assume, as
Yes.
one big parcel.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so that would be a contingency
Okay.
if this board chooses to approve this.
Okay.
All right.
Can I get a staff report, please, Micah?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chair. Having found the application is in compliance with the regulatory requirements, staff recommends approval of the rezoning application and the commercial development plan modification with the following contingency, and that was to depict natural landscaping and vegetation area surrounding the parking area on the commercial development plan, and add a note that the area shall be attractively maintained and kept clean of debris, rubbish, and wrecked/unoperable vehicles.
Okay, thank you. I need to open the public hearing here. This is a public hearing. So the public hearing is now open. Do you have any questions for Micah, commissioners?
Just very quickly, we have such a large document in front of us, and I know I've read it, but could you point me to the part of that contingency about landscaping you were just discussing
Could I point you to it?
in the document? if you need to take a minute to find it, that's okay. I know I've read it, I'm just having a hard time finding it right now.
Page 5.
It was on the letter, I think it's kind of the first place it popped out, was the letter after the planning commission comments.
Page 5 of the document.
Okay.
One more page.
One more.
There.
Okay, got it.
So it'd be the
All right,
landscaping and
got it.
buffing?
Yes, all right, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, anybody wishes to speak on this item, now is the time to jump up here.
Not everyone at once, please.
All right, no one is approaching, so I'm going to close the public hearing. Okay. And commissioners, I'll ask you if you have any questions, concerns, or entertain a motion.
Anything?
Nope.
This
You
is
want-
going to be one heck of a motion.
It's going to be a long one.
It's going to be a long motion, and I
Okay.
won't repeat it, so get it out the first time, Kelly.
If I forget anything, please feel free to chime in, but I will give it an attempt. Mr. Chair, I move to approve zone change request 21-002 for Pikes Peak Motors, rezoning 13.94 acres from agricultural forestry to industrial to allow the expansion of the existing automobile graveyard and salvage yard, also to incorporate a used car sales area in the front parking lot. This approval does include the request to modify the existing commercial development plan to remove 6.56 acres from that plan that will remain vacant. This property is located at 62651 Highway 50. With this board finds the following that are required in a zone change. The proposal is in compliance with the intent and purpose of the Fremont County zoning resolution. Additional land is needed in the proposed zone district. There is a public need for this proposed zone change. Item 3, the zone change will be a county and/or neighborhood benefit that will tend to preserve and promote property values in the neighborhood. 4, the proposed zoning will be in harmony and compatible with the surrounding land uses and development in the area. The proposal is in conformance with the Fremont County Master Plan, and existing infrastructure and services are adequate and available to serve the proposed land use. This also does include the contingency we just discussed of making those lot line changes by deed to combine this area into a single parcel. And it also does include the, this isn't really a waiver, I am thinking, but depicting the natural landscape and vegetation areas surrounding the parking areas, and keep the area maintained, clean of debris, rubbish, and wrecked or inoperable vehicles.
Second.
Did I get it all?
I think there would be a waiver for buffering, though.
So, okay, it does include a waiver for the
Yes.
buffering.
Okay,
All right.
now I second it.
Okay. All right, is that it?
That looks
We
like
did it?
it to
I
me.
think that's it.
Okay, all right.
And the contingency of the swell, which you are moving for the stormwater drainage.
Yes.
Now, I'd entertain a second.
For the third time. I second that
I
motion.
warned you.
Okay, it has been moved and seconded for approval of zone change 21-002 for Pikes Peak Motors. I'm not going to read that whole thing again. It's located at 651 Highway 50, and approval of the commercial development plan modification, which removes 6.56 acres from it and adds the other 13.94 acres in the zone change. With a couple of contingencies which were mentioned and a waiver for buffering. Any further discussion?
Can we open up the crossover while we're talking?
Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, let's do
Oh,
that.
right? I think we've all fought that battle, and then now they're roping it off, they're just making it worse, I think. But
Sure are.
it's pretty amazing. Okay, roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right. No further business before us. We are adjourned.